Hello peeps. Thank you for waiting. I had to go pee because it's hot and I've been drinking a lot of water and you should too. It is currently Friday, 2 p.m. in New York City. And I have to say that I am both happy and excited to be here and not, because I am not feeling great mentally. But I'm also recognizing the fact that the only way to get over rumination sometimes, and to pull myself out of certain spiraling cycles of thought, is to function and do things. So that's what we're doing. This morning I made Grandma some dumplings and I had hot water, and I was like, you know what, let's use this hot water that I've boiled in 95-degree heat and let's rehydrate some peas. So we have some hydrated peas. I also bought these Japanese sweet potatoes probably a week ago and I still haven't cooked them, so I thought, why don't we cook all of these together in the Instant Pot? So that's what I'm going to be cooking today. It's not really going to be a finished product. We're just going to be food prepping so that I have some actual cooked ingredients to use for the next couple of days. And we're going to be snacking. Aaron brought back some treats from the airport lounge on his trip to Poland. And so we're going to be tasting some airport lounge snacks. He was very kind of like half apologetic about how, you know, lackluster these gifts are, but I was just like, hey dude, I haven't traveled in close to 2 years. I'm just glad you brought me back anything and I'm thankful for it. So we're just gonna eat some snackies. It's really hot, so that's not adding to it's not adding good things to my mental health. I don't actually know why I'm getting so teary. I haven't cried the whole week, but maybe it's been building up. But let's function together. I'm happy that you're here. Thanks for being here. I'm so sorry to hear that your mom-in-law is in hospice. Hi, Denmark. Hi, Ohio. And no, I can't make a vlog on composting because I don't compost myself. I bring the food scraps to farmers markets that then transport them to composting facilities like farms. So I can't give you any advice on composting at home. Grandma's okay. Grandma's fine, actually. So, yes. Let's cook, right? Let's function. Let's keep living. I don't know, sometimes you do things that make you question yourself. But I think questioning is good. Even though it may bring up really bad stuff that I would rather not think about, identify with. I think at the end of the day, it's a part of learning, growing, being human. I think in a lot of ways when I was growing up, I've heard a lot of teachers and adults say things like, one step forward, 2 steps back, and they say it in such a negative way, like, well, that was for nothing because we've made progress, but we've made more regress. And lately I've been thinking about that, and I feel like it's kind of just a cycle of our world in a lot of ways, because I don't know, we think about modern technology being such a great invention, but then I think about the ways in which technology has both enabled a lot of convenience and facilitated a lot of detrimental effects, and how we use technology in ways to actually generate destruction. So is progress actually its own enemy? Is progress actually a deconstruction of sorts? Is progress good, I guess, is what I'm getting at. And what is good, and how do we define good? And I don't have the answer to that, but I think it's worth thinking about things from a very different 180 perspective in terms of when I'm caught in loops of judging myself and feeling bad and feeling guilt and shame and all of that, thinking about why it's happening rather than what happened. And I think that's the only way that I can really begin to work on myself and hopefully one day forgive myself. But behind me is an Instant Pot, not a rice cooker. But I do have Mom's rice cooker. Yes, NY is hot, and I have been making cold salads. But sometimes cold, raw things just don't hit the way that I want them to. And I don't really want to eat raw things all the time, you know? Hi, Ireland. And I really appreciate, Miriam, your comment about please stop being so harsh on myself. And yes, I hear you, but also that just kind of adds to this feeling like I'm lacking. So I'm just gonna draw upon other previous advice that's been given to me too, to use in conjunction with your advice, which is to sit with it, right? I have to just sit with some very uncomfortable feelings and uncomfortable truths. I have to sit with uncomfortable selves. I don't always like myself. Sometimes I hate myself, and I have to allow that for myself. I also have to recognize that even though I would like to think of myself as a cohesive, sensical, logical being that I've done a lot of work to curate and grow into, both because of what society has told me to grow into and because of what I want to be, that sometimes it just really doesn't work that way. And there are moments that happen in life that make you break out of character, and makes you question. And I'm just here questioning. It's not the end of the world. If you're wondering if I've killed somebody, I haven't. But, you know, you don't always have to kill somebody to hurt them. What I do want to do is to cook the peas in the Instant Pot and steam the sweet potatoes on top. Let me see if that's feasible and what I would have to do. To make this happen. To make this shit happen. Okay. Okay. Maybe that can happen. We'll see. Give me a sec. I really do want to read all of your comments, but the Instant Pot also takes a long while to heat up. So I'm gonna try to peel the sweet potatoes because they turn real. Well, they were never really that good to begin with. They were $1 a pound, so you know, Japanese sweet potatoes sometimes can go for $2.50 a pound. So I'm just gonna peel them. But while I peel them, I'm gonna try to read some comments and be present and breathe a little bit and take it 1 second at a time. Thank you for helping me procrastinate on my mid-year review. You're welcome. Hi, Indonesia. Things are overwhelming for you too. Oh boy. Can we blame it on astrology again? There's really not much I can do when I hate myself, except to kind of splinter myself into two, and this is one of the scenarios where it really does help to splinter myself off a little bit so that not the whole ship sinks. When I splinter myself into two different voices, or potentially more voices, in times of rumination and self-blame and self-hate, what I'm attempting to do is like an amputation of sorts to save most of the self rather than let the whole self sink. I know that when I've spoken of splintering the self before, it was in a negative connotation where I have to splinter myself off for work to present a certain persona forward in a professional setting. But this isn't quite for someone else. This is for my own self-preservation. So I recognize that the self, the identity is fluid. I have to recognize the fact that I am not constant. I have to recognize the fact that I carry baggage from my past. I have to recognize that there are things that I have not worked out through my own self that I have just been maybe repressing or ignoring. And, as happens in life, you come across certain experiences that are out of your control on some level that you still feel responsibility for. And I know I'm just skirting around what actually happened, but I think it's personal enough that I haven't even worked out myself. I'm not going to share the details, but I think the way that I'm speaking about it, hopefully you can connect to and identify with on some level. I think these things have all happened to us at one point or another. And so I've been trying to kind of, when I sense the thought spirals really going hard, I just try to splinter myself off to preserve some sanity in a way that I can disengage from the rumination with at least a part of me out of the mess, while the other part of me sinks further on deep into it. And I guess it's a sort of dissociation, but like a willful dissociation, a dissociation from myself. I don't know if it's dissociation or depersonalization. I'm not really read up on psych terms like that, but it helps when I feel myself sinking into panic attacks. So I don't know if anyone else does that, but hi, California, and Rose Gaming says, I like helping people when I'm down. Is there something you like to do when you're down that gives you time to process in the background before you address it? I think sometimes I'm not able to really disengage from the thoughts, and I just allow myself to kind of suffer through them so that I can finally exhaust myself to the degree of fatigue that would then release me from being able to engage with it. Because, physically, your body hits a certain level of exhaustion and it just can't continue. I don't know if anyone has ever cried so much that you just can't cry anymore because your body is just like dead. Sometimes, obviously, I still have work to do, pay the bills and stuff, so that is just organic, required distraction. So it's always nice to have things to do that I have to prioritize in a practical way so that I don't actually have time to devote to my spiralings. But most of the time, I think if there's one thing that I've learned in this past year, it's to not work against myself. It's to not add on to the self-blame that's already kind of kicked off into a kind of disastrous spiraling. And so whatever would allow me to ruminate in peace, I do, because I think lived through enough depression cycles that I kind of know how my brain works, the ups and the downs. That kind of self-knowledge is pretty invaluable when you're honest with yourself about what you tend to do when mental health dips, you kind of have a roadmap of, okay, this is what's going to happen. You're not going to be able to save yourself because, let's be honest, you've tried to do that before and it has never worked. But you will be able to recognize things as they happen as familiar procedures in a way. They follow, for me at least, familiar cycles on a case-by-case basis. It's not always guilt, it's not always shame. And even if it is both of them, it's not for the same reasons every time, so there is variation, but for the most part, turning 34 this year, and I would say I've been depressed at least half my life, if not more. That is if there's no further other mental illnesses going on beyond depression. So I feel like I have a pretty, I wouldn't say solid grasp, but I have a pretty knowing grasp of how the ride's gonna go. But let me just show you. Steamer up top, peas are on the bottom with water, and we're going to lid this. This is my first time trying to cook 2 things in one go in the Instant Pot, so we'll see if it works. I'll leave it on for, let's see, 26 minutes? Maybe let's do 28. 28 sounds good. I really want those peas to be extra super mushy. So that's what's happening. Continuing to read your comments. Hello, Upper West Side. And yes, cold Korean noodle soup, one of my favorites. Absolutely. Yeah, and Sherry says, I'm certainly not proud of my every action, inaction, or interaction every day. Who is? And true, but there is just some things that I do that I'm like, what the fuck, June? I don't know. It's a hot week. It's a hot week. It's a hot brain. It's a hot. Everything's hot. Instant Pots are pretty easy to use, yes. It's worth purchasing one if you like mush and you don't have a lot of time to do hands-on cooking and you like stews, or mushy beans, or prepping a lot of hearty vegetables that can benefit from pressure cooking. It's great for meats if you like your meats really broken down. It's actually not really easy to challenge your thinking. Yup, and so what to do when your brain splinters in two and they're complete polar opposites. Completely different personas. I felt like I wasn't me, but then how can I not be me if I was the one who thought that and did that? So dealing with a lot of that kind of mentality. It is really hard if you don't have a real estate on your countertop for your Instant Pot. At Mom's and at my last apartment, when I didn't have this much countertop, I just put it on top of a stool. It's round enough that it fits on most stools and chairs. When I'm feeling in a funk, I stay in a bed cocoon on my phone. The fact that you are multitasking like a queen right now, kudos. You, sir, have not seen the rest of the week. I certainly have done my fair share of cocooning. But yes, it's also been almost a week since we've gone live, and I just feel like it was time. So sometimes you can be your own worst enemy, and those times suck, And it would be great if you had support networks and friends that you can reach out to, or the internet, I guess. But the internet can also be super toxic. So your mileage may vary. Canada, what up? Procrastination cycle, yes. That usually means that I have either too much to do or that it's none of the work that I want to be doing in my life. That I'm not really motivated and that all it gives me is anxiety. And it gives me anxiety because it's leading me to spiral thinking into, why am I doing this thing that doesn't make me happy? How much longer in my life am I going to stay in this cycle of doing things that don't actually fulfill me? Why is this happening? When is it going to stop? God, I don't want to do it. God, I have to do it. God, let me just watch one more video and eat one more jar of peanut butter. Does that sound like what happens to you? That's what happens to me. So crying is a release. And heat really does get you down. Yes, for sure. And is it safe to put the steamer in the Instant Pot? Yes, the Instant Pot actually comes with a metal trivet for you to elevate anything that you want in a steam bath. So anything that won't melt in the Instant Pot, I wouldn't put melamine in there, I wouldn't put anything plastic in there. It's a very high temperature, very high pressure, but metal is generally okay. I probably wouldn't put anything like aluminum-y in there, since aluminum is known to leach harmful things, but will the flavors meld together for both foods? Maybe, possible. Maybe the stinky pea flavor essence will go into the sweet potato, and the earthiness of the sweet potato will kind of flavor the water as it cries down into the peas, but I didn't really season either one, so we should be okay. Hello, Madison, Wisconsin. Yes, I've heard a lot about Dr. Huberman, actually. I've not read a lot about hypnosis. That actually kind of scares me, that if hypnosis works, what I would be revealing of myself in such a session that is so see-through and transparent. I'm not sure I can handle that. Even as a person who lauds transparency, I feel like sometimes I surprise myself in very bad ways. You may think I'm good. You may think that. His latest interview about identity may be helpful science-based and research-based. Thank you. It was new to me that a lot of people also get a summer depression. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Comparatively, winter is way worse for me. But I think this is like a very event-specific triggered mental health cycle right now. So there's different kinds of depressions. Different people get depressed in different ways. They get triggered differently. My depression certainly doesn't look like some of my friends' manifestations and embodiments of depression. For me, I've noticed that a lot of my depression can come from very external sources of changes in life. Obviously, a very plain and simple example would be my mom dying. That obviously triggered a lot of depression and grief. But, I do find that my depressive cycles tend to be, if not triggered by body image issues, then certainly by external factors. Breakdowns in relationships, miscommunications, feeling stuck in life. I didn't see Barbieheimer. I might not see it for a while. No, actually some people get really scared when they dissociate, but I kind of enjoy it. It's a lot, I think, to live with my brain. It never stops unraveling, and it's quite exhausting, but I'm so used to it that I don't even feel the exhaustion of being in my head all the time. So when dissociation happens, it's actually a nice change of pace for me to finally be looking into my own self and experience of reality from a third person point of view. But yes, I would say all of my friends who have experienced dissociation none of them enjoy it. Yeah, obviously if you're able to and you have a therapist that you can connect to, yes, of course, therapy helps. Hi, 70-year-old grandma from Seattle. I don't know if I represent the younger generations these days, but yes, I'm happy to see you here. And we have 3 Madison, Wisconsins in the house today. What up, Madison, Wisconsin? Yes, I also I used to watch Patrick Teagan a lot. I find his videos very informational and helpful. He does a lot of role plays and scenarios that help you see certain things without just talking at you about it. So for people who can't afford therapy or can't find a therapist that they really jive with, I do find that, for better or for worse, YouTube has a lot of cool therapy channels going on. So the most of the year so far has mostly been winter here in South Africa. Skipped right over autumn into frozen balls cold. Snow in parts we usually never got. Climate change be wildin'. Yes, for sure. And I just feel like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm stuck in my own head, fucking myself over. For a good reason, for a solid reason, but also the world is melting. So kind of the underlying tone of my mental health buoy, life jacket, floaty, whatever you want to call it, is still memento mori. Remember, we will all die. That death is a constant. Unpredictably when, but also predictably when. And now we move on to snacks that Erin got me from the Polish airport lounge. We have some carrot crisps and apple crisps, and we have some cashews, and we have some milky creamy fudge, and we have some mysterious thing that reminds me of Chinese dried fruit that are salty and disgusting. And we have this chocolate wafer that is definitely melting. Gross. Let me pop it in the freezer. So don't let me forget about that. And then he also got me decaf coffee, which I think I'll save, not for today. But let's snack, huh? Oh, cursed CA. Let's try these carrot crisps. I've never had carrot crisps. Maybe in like the Terra Blues variation where they have mixed veggies, but these have carrot, dried tomato concentrate, dried onion, curry, which includes cumin, turmeric, coriander, fenugreek, chili, ginger, garlic, black pepper. It also has sea salt, paprika, turmeric, cayenne pepper, nutmeg, and dried garlic juice. Dried garlic juice. And it also says this fun fact: 100 grams of final product was made from 1,470 grams of fresh carrots and 5 grams of spices. In this bag is 15 grams, which means less than just about 1/6 of 1,470 grams. I'm going to estimate that's about 250 grams of fresh carrots in this bag, which is about half a pound of carrots in this much. Holy shit. It's not worth dehydrating veggies like this, guys. Does being around people help you when you're depressed, or do you find it makes it worse? It all depends on the mentality. Being around people is a drug of sorts, and You know, they always tell you that when you take drugs, it really, really, really matters what kind of mindset, mentality, emotional state you're in, because if you're already down in the shits and you take drugs, it's probably not going to feel better. And if you feel good and you're ready and you're calm to take drugs, it probably would give you a better experience. Same thing, I think, when you're depressed or dealing with any sort of mental issues. If you're not ready for people and you're dealing with a lot of internal sources of shame and guilt and embarrassment, and feeling like you're a burden, then I think being around other people would draw you further into yourself and make you more self-conscious. Whereas if you realize with a certain degree of self-awareness that you are stuck in a depressive cycle, and you know that being social and among other people would help you bring you out of yourself, and you're ready to be brought out of yourself, then it does help, right? So I have control over when I go live. I told myself, I think it's time to go live. What do you think? My other self said, okay, fine, I don't feel great. My other self said, okay, let's just try it, and let's eat these snacks that Aaron brought for you from Poland. So it's kind of a negotiation inside my head with my two selves. Like, I know you don't feel good, but would this make you feel better? I don't know, I might not be ready, and I might feel really awkward on camera. Okay, but would you still like to cook? Maybe. I should, because the beans are soaked and the sweet potatoes are gonna go in the trash if I don't. All right, and how do you feel about doing that while you're snacking? Because Instant Pot takes a long time. That sounds fine, I guess. When do you want to do it? I don't know, probably sooner rather than later, because I'm feeling hungry, and that's probably a great opportunity to do it. Okay, 2 o'clock. Okay, carrot crisps. Immediately off the bat, very curry forward. I smelled it as soon as we opened the bag. These are very interesting chips. They're crinkle cut, I think. Nice. Some of them are way more covered in spices than others. Give you a good look. They do look kind of fried, but I don't think they mention oil. So, I don't see oil, so they must be like air fried. It also says Cajun spices. Cajun spices, dried carrot crisp with Cajun spices. Suzon chipsy. I don't know how to read Polish, but okay. Nice and bubbly. Okay. The flavor is good. The carrots are sweet. The carrot flavor is there. The spices are solid. A little bit spicy. A little bit salty. Definitely tasting some of the cumin, coriander, turmeric, black pepper, but it's not as crispy as normal freeze-dried ones. Usually freeze-dried things taste wispy and airy, and they almost turn into like a very crunchy powder. And these feel hard. Maybe they're not very fresh, but the texture feels a little bit tough. I like it. I enjoy them. But not. Can you hear the difference? Listen, this is a Polish snack. I don't think they know exactly what mixes are in Cajun spices. Whether or not it's Cajun, I don't know. Yeah, watch those fillings is right. Okay. Time to read some comments. I see some very helpful ones here. YOLOing depression from personal issues due to climate change is something. Pro tip. This is a very interesting comment. Pro tip. My therapist told me CBT. I just lost it. Hold on. CBT will make very self-aware people feel worse rather than better. Whoa. That might not be the first time I've heard of it, but I've heard of it just this past week for some reason. Is this like a new understanding of CBT? Is this like all the fads that I'm now realizing also applies very much to therapy in the world of mental health, where everybody's just like, CBT is great, everybody should try CBT, and then everybody tries it for 5 years, and then we come back and we're like, actually, CBT might not be great for everyone. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I've been drinking lately. Surprisingly, I've been brewing a lot of teas, but not herbal ones. This one has star anise in it. I've been using up this jar of star anise that I found at my mom's house, you know, because I have all these new burlap and barrel spices, and I really want to kind of consume and get rid of the past so that the past can stay in the past. And I've been brewing some star anise tea. It's just very simple, star anise and water for the most part. You let it simmer until you smell it, and then it's a tea. It's a nicely clear, slightly beigey green tea looking thing. Tom says, I know your stance about motherhood and voluntary child-free, but I was wondering what's your stance on sponsoring and adoption? Would you consider that in the future? If I'm mentally stable, if I can understand who I am, if I can understand my weaknesses and properly acknowledge them and deal with them so that I don't pass on my own unforeseen traumas and unresolved issues to whichever child I end up rearing, yeah, I'm open to adoption for sure. If I have the economic resources to take care of them, of course. What else am I going to do with my time on Earth? But that's a lot of ifs, right? You only see a part of me. You don't see a lot of me. I have a lot of issues to sort through. I didn't just come to the child-free decision because of one or two reasons. It was something that I started thinking about when I was in my early teens, and it grew more and more apparent to me that I'm not a good candidate to have my own biological children, and I think over the last 2 decades of my life, I've thought again and again about this issue as different things and different voices and different people have come into my life. And I'm still pretty staunchly anti-biological children for myself. Good. Star anise, yes. Cold licorice tea. That's exactly what it tastes like, yes. Let me see some other comments. CBT can also impact memory. Positive or negatively? Like, it helps you kind of format your brain? That could be useful. That could be like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind useful. But also not useful if you saw that movie. Very sad. It tastes great cold. I'm drinking it cold over ice. I only drink it cold. I'm sure you can drink it hot too. Negative, I see. Apple chips, shall we? Crispy natural, it says. This is all in Polish. Unlike the carrot crisps, which has English, this is all in Polish. So I'm going to guess this is only just apples. So they didn't feel the need to tell me what's going on in here. There's 66 calories in this 18-gram bag. My burps are very interesting. It tastes like Cajun curry carrot licorice. Cool. Ready? Smells like a peach almost. Yeah, they're kind of stale. They're kind of stale. I think once upon a time they might have been flash frozen. Or, sorry, freeze dried. But there must have been humidity that got to them. These also taste slightly like lipstick. Anyone tried eating lipstick before? You know what I'm talking about? Karen, are you okay? You're going to the hospital? I like these, but they have a slightly savory bend. The red crayon. I'll be sure to check that one out next time I buy crayon. Is it because it has extra beetles? Probably. Whoa, Lucky Charms marshmallows can turn back into regular marshmallows. Who knew? You should make a TikTok and go viral with that. I'm sure somebody will give you 1,500 million views. Whatever number that actually is. The drawing of the figure with glasses on your fridge reminds me of Arthur. Thanks for asking, Tom. Ooh, freezing cold chocolate soy milk. That sounds great. All right, let's try one of these. This one feels a lot meltier than this one. This one looks like it has retained its natural shape, that is flat on the bottom, rounded like a little beetle shell on top. This one is just like, life has battered me and I have taken it. I have retained my core, but I cannot promise my surface is as level and smooth as the one that I came out into this world with. And it's chocolate. It's chocolate. It's really melty chocolate. Kind of waxy chocolate. Where's my knife? It could be chocolate covered prunes, which would be a level up from the Chinese ones that have no chocolate. Oh yeah, yep, it looks like a chocolate covered prune. Wow. That's exciting. Let's taste the chocolate first since it's melted and ready to slough off. On par with Hershey's, with maybe slightly less plastic wax and more like oily wax. Flavor tastes like cocoa powder and not like chocolate. It has no tartness, fruitiness, astringency. It's just that cocoa-y flavor. The prune is kind of salty like the Chinese ones, but not overwhelmingly. Goes quite nicely with the waxy, low quality melty chocolate.
kind of tames the boringness of the chocolate with a little bit of piquancy from the saltiness. The texture of the prune is very interesting. It's not like American prunes where it's like immediately mushy and you can almost flatten it and move it around with your tongue. This one still has a little bit of a skin to it, a little bit of like a fibrous crunch to it, a little bit like I was dehydrated and turned into a dry fruit, but I did not want to be, and I want you to know that I did not want to be like this. Heard, chef. It's good. I don't mind it. I'm gonna throw this half and the other half in the fridge because this is really intense. How do we feel about licking fingers after eating? When I did this for the first time, my parents freaked out. They were like, that's so disgusting. Don't do that. They hated it. This is one of the worst American traditions or habits that they hate, I think. Right after me putting my backpack straight on the floor. Next, let's take a cashew break. These cashews are shelled cashew nuts packed in a protective atmosphere. They come from Burkina Faso? Holy shit, I don't think I've ever had anything packed from Burkina Faso. Why? Is that where all of my cashews come from? I'm gonna have to look this up. Okay, I just quickly searched the Wikipedia page for Burkina Faso and nothing mentions cashews, but not sure why it's coming from here. Fascinating. This is 15 grams. This is half of an American serving. I believe we say serving sizes for nuts is 1 ounce, 28 grams. This is 15 grams. So that's what Poland considers to be 1 serving. I assume these just look like normal cashews. They're unsalted. Not a fan. Not a fan of unsalted cashews. They don't really taste roasted either. They taste raw. Let's see. Do we think 15 grams minus the 2 that I just ate will fit into this jam jar? I think this jam jar could have fit the 28 ounce serving size, the American serving size, for sure. Yeah, is it a snack or a penance? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. If it is a penance, I could deal with more penance. I would like to penance more. It does look like a big Tiger Balm jar, huh? This was from California Prunes. When I went on that PR trip in the Hamptons, September before Mom died, one of the companies that was presenting on the PR trip was California Prunes, and they all gave us a goodie bag with things that we could eat with prunes, and I believe this one held sprinkles. I look back at that time in my life, photos and videos of myself, and I was like, girl, you have no idea what's coming to you. Alright, I'm gonna finish these carrot crisps because they're only gonna get more stale from here on out. We're gonna go all in with the final 10 crisps. Just try to watch out for my fillings a little bit, but I don't think many of us would watch me open up bags and fill jars with them, but I'd be happy to do that. How many views do you think a 10-minute video of me opening bags and putting things into jars would get? Taking bets now. Maybe I'll actually try to make one. I certainly don't have enough jars now, but I can collect them. 10 views? There's more people watching this live right now. Do YouTube Shorts, it will trend. You don't make any money on YouTube Shorts though. I'm also just too old to do shorts, guys. It's a really popular format, really. People just opening shit up in bags and putting them into jars? It's funny, I just got bitten today on my arm. It blew up like the size of a marble. It's kind of freaky. What are restock photos? I've never heard. I will not be making my own line of jars and ASMR snacks. That's just not my thing, Tom. But I appreciate the thought. Wow, these apple crisps just get more and more leathery. Thanks, Aaron. I need expensive nails. Yeah, these cuticles are not gonna cut it. You also need nails to tap on the jars, I'm assuming, to give people that extra orgasmic sensory hit of dopamine. I've actually never gotten a manicure, ever, so I would have to develop a whole new persona to make that content happen. You don't want to cook with any nails on. It's a food safety hazard. You don't want shit getting caught underneath your nails and going into the food. You just don't want it. I don't like it when people touch my anything, so I don't think I'm gonna get a mani or a pedi or a massage unless I have to. Unless my doctor's like, you need a massage. But joke's on us, because I don't go to the doctor. Unless I think I have some sort of terrible disease, then I will. But this is America. Who goes to the doctor? Have I ranted enough yet? We have 8 minutes on the Instant Pot, and we have this creamy fudge to taste. Milky creamy fudge. Clean and restock my pantry. Susan, sweet greens is now $20? What the fuck? I can't afford to live much longer. Milky creamy fudge. Looks like a little caramel. It's like a little caramel candy made in Poland. Let's see what else the packaging says. Ingredients: sugar, glucose syrup, whole milk powder, 13%, vegetable fats including palm, rapeseed, water, emulsifier E471, salt, acidity regular, preservative, flavor, color. Store in a dry and cool place. This is not a dry and cool place, but it looks like it fared much better than our chocolate. I'm a little bit worried that this will get stuck on my teeth. I am also worried that I won't be able to cut it successfully, but I will try. Okay, that went through fairly brittly. It was a fast chop. I wasn't sure if we were gonna make it, but this looks very crystallized. It almost looks like honey that's been crystallized into a candy shape. Very soft, very chewable. Grainy breakdown, soft, pliable, grainy breakdown. Imagine Werther's, but a soft, old, crumbly, hard bubble gum crossed with Tootsie Roll. Also has the aftertaste of lipstick. I don't mind it, but there is a lipstick theme going on in the flavors here. But yeah, no stickiness for the most part. I did eat about a third of a jar of peanut butter this morning. I've been trying not to derail myself further, but it's hard. Let's see what we can eat now. I don't really feel inspired by my fridge contents right now. I have some oatmeal in there. Tastes like honeycomb, exactly, but not as waxy as honeycomb. I'm just gonna eat some almonds while I think. What is my favorite commercially produced candy? That's hard to say. The first thing that came to mind was, sorry for spitting. The first thing that came to mind was Dove chocolates. I have this giardiniera mixture left over. I think what I should do is when the peas come out of the Instant Pot, I'm going to drain them and I'm going to pour this into the pot. And I'm going to pour my pickle juice into the pot. And we can make some pickled peas and I can use that in a salad. This will serve two functions. It will flavor them and it will also make them not so bingeable so that I don't eat like 4 bowls of peas in one sitting and then have extreme bloating, which I'm looking forward into the future and I can already see myself committing these acts and I'm trying to think of ways to prevent my future self from hurting myself. Do you like licorice? No. I don't understand. I don't understand how people eat black licorice. I just, especially the salty type, no. I don't get it though. So, you know, some people gag at the stuff that I eat. I guess it makes sense. Could have sworn I was gonna make more shit, but can't remember anymore. Should cross out some of these things that I said I was going to do that I've definitely done already. Like the waffle iron trial, chickpea tomato, haven't done that, have done the kimchi. Should we make some tuna salad? That actually sounds good. I do have these pickles that I can chop up and we can make some delicious tuna salads. And maybe I can eat it with my broccoli later. Let's do that. That sounds good. Thank you for the inspiration. I don't think I'm gonna stay on for too much today. I think I'll probably tap out in 30 minutes. Pretty tired. Pretty frazzled. Pretty lost. Very disappointed. Feel like the excitement of the ability to go live is now wearing down. I mean, I think everyone's feeling drained. I'm not trying to have a pity party for myself here. This is a communal pity party, y'all. Let's all feel drained. There is no raw onion in it, but I do have scallions, so I will be using scallions in my tuna salad. I might go to the gym just to enjoy the AC there for a little bit. I tend to give myself a little 1 hour break in the gym. There goes our two cans of tuna. I will let that naturally release so that we can harness all the heating power. What do I do at the gym? If I feel like it, I'll go on the elliptical anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes. Sometimes that's all I do. Other times, oh, that lid is so rusty. We gotta throw that shit out. Other times I won't do cardio at all and I'll just go lift some dumbbells or pre-weighted barbells. It really depends. The gym that I go to is pretty bad in terms of having equipment to work with. Half the machines are broken, half the cables are missing the clipper that attaches the handles, and it's just really sad. It's a cheap gym, so it's basically half functional. I just do whatever I feel like doing with the materials that I can access that day. And I'm not one of those people who go to the gym with like a full-on plan of what they must hit that day. I don't have any plans. It works best when you go to a cheap gym with broken equipment. So that's it. That's what my life is like. It's gonna be a very pickle-heavy tuna salad, which is fine because it'll add all the salt that I probably should have. And it'll help me eat these pickles that I no longer want in my fridge. Yeah, my gym does not have a pool. It's not that kind of a gym. It's the kind of the gym where everything's kind of broken and you're used to it being broken. My part of the city is very walkable, yes. This is a muscle tank only because Grandma was asking for projects and I was like, this shirt looks too big on me, let's chop off the sleeves. And this is what Grandma did to the shirt, and that's fine. Grandma no longer has the ability to sew, not because she can't sew, but because the nurse asked me to confiscate her scissors because this week Grandma had a very upsetting day where she was convinced that people at the facility were trying to kill her by dehydrating her because I guess one shift during the night the nurses forgot to fill her thermoses with hot water, and so she was saying how all night she had no water. So I guess sometime in the morning she went out and she was like waving her sewing scissors about while complaining, and the nurse was like, you have to take this away, it's dangerous, and I said okay. So now Grandma has no more scissors to work with. So unfortunately we got away with it for as long as we did, and now she does not have access to it, and I can't tell her that she did anything wrong because in her mind she didn't do that. So I just have to say, well, Grandma, we'll just have to make do with no scissors. Yeah, I would imagine anything and everything is scary for Grandma now. She's reached a certain stage in her age where whatever happens is due to the ill intent of other people. I can't convince her otherwise, so I just let her live the reality that everybody is out to get her, which is sometimes can include me if I'm unlucky. I visit her every day. Every day. But when I go on my work trip, I will not be able to visit her every day, and so we will have to see what happens then. These peppers are not good, so we'll chop them up and include them in our tuna salad as well. I gave my garlic powder and my onion powder to Aaron when he came over to fix my computer problems because he needed them. So now I'm left with only about 56,000 other spices to use. I'm moving away from New Jersey in 2 months. Any recommendations for things I need to make sure I do it? No. That's all on you, girl. Whatever you want to do. It's your experience, not mine. Everybody will have lists of things to do, but I have no suggestions. I would say the big ones are food and museums. I guess shopping if you're into that, but no. What is the difference between a nursing facility and assisted living? I've never really distinguished. Is assisted living on her own? In that case, yeah, she's not in assisted living. Oh, I don't really eat my tuna salads on bread. I find that bread is the wrong delivery vessel for tuna salad. I eat it with either grains or cooked veggies or beans. I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm gonna eat this with probably some sort of either raw chopped broccoli or slightly steamed broccoli. I like the mayo-y notes of tuna salad on greens. So sometimes that's like arugula leaf. Sometimes it's broccoli. I just bought $2 worth of broccoli yesterday, so I think it makes sense for me to eat that up. You just burnt your pizzas. I'm sorry. That sucks. I would be very sad and angry at myself. I hope you are not. Tostadas. That sounds good too. Yeah, tuna salad on crackers, for sure. Anything. Tuna salad on noodles? Sure, why not? Does anybody have fun weekend plans to cheer us up with? Tuna salad on lettuce is good too. I agree. This is going to be a very, 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 very veggie heavy tuna salad. I think too veggie heavy. So I'm gonna just eat these now. Is your pregnant friend getting the piercing or are you? Sure. I think having a pet around helps with depression somewhat. Undoubtedly. Oh my gosh, you guys, we forgot to eat this. You didn't remind me we had one more thing to try. I just saw it in the freezer. Here we go. You guys are really dropping the ball here, you know. Mini Grzeski. Waffle something. Chocolate coated wafer bar with cocoa cream. Chocolate 31%, sugar, cocoa mass, cocoa butter, fat reduced cocoa powder, vegetable fats, palm, shea in varying proportions. Interesting note. Milk fat, emulsifiers, lecithin, polyglycerol, polyricinoleate, flavoring, wheat flour, palm fat, skim milk powder, sugar, fat reduced cocoa powder, 3%, potato starch emulsifiers, raising agents, sodium carbonates, ammonium carbonates, salt flavoring. This product may contain hazelnuts and peanuts. Great. There is 530 calories in this tiny bar, and we might just eat all of it. We'll see. If it's good. Why the fuck not? It was definitely melted all the way through. Yes, got on the wrapper and everything. Nice. That's what it looks like on the inside. Not like a Kit Kat at all, just like a wafer. I like it. Yum, yum. Delicious. Also, what I'm noticing with these snacks that I love compared to American candy bars, really not sweet. Really pleasantly not sweet. Speaking of, I'm gonna eat the other prune half because I love sugar, and now it's a little bit more solidified. It was definitely better when it was not solidified. I'll tell you that. You taste the waxiness and the artificialness of the chocolate way more when it's hard. My favorite snack was definitely the wafer bar. Woo. This tuna is packed in olive oil and it has salt added. It's a lot of olive oil, so I might drain it off a little bit so we can maybe use it for other cooking. Or actually, let's put it into our pickle jar for adding to our peas later. It's gonna be a funky pot of peas.
taste test some of this tuna on its own. It's been a while since I've had canned tuna. Still love it. Thank you for that reminder. I do have some leftover dried basil from farm school that's just been dehydrating in my fridge that I would love to use. Just naturally dehydrated basil. It's crunchy, but not crunchy enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it with a pair of scissors into ribbons. Smells pretty good. Okay, time for spices before the mayo goes in. I am doing black pepper, lots. I'm thinking maybe a little bit of, I may go fetch some spices I need to use up from the other room. Pickled hot peppers can be chopped up and used in salads. Bean salads, pasta salads, potato salads. A little bit of white pepper. I think we're reaching the end of Mom's white pepper. Gasp. Wow. Holy shit. That's it, Mom? No more? Okay. Let's do a little bit of silk chili. It's kind of like Aleppo pepper. It's from Turkey. I'm gonna do a little bit of dill, parsley, ramps, black urfa chili. White pepper does not taste like black pepper. It tastes a little bit funkier, fermented. It tastes a little bit more dusty, I would say. Not in a bad way, but just in a very like musty way. Hi, Callie. That black urfa smells pretty dang good. I may say so myself. And finally, some smoked chipotle for a last pepper trio kick. Just a little, not too much. And then I'm going to go grab some extra spices that I need to use up from my bedroom. This is a hodgepodge of spices that was left over from testing. I think it has mint in it and some smoked paprika, but I'm really not sure what else is in it, so I'm just gonna use it pretty sparingly. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of old sumac so that we have a little bit of vinegariness to it. And then mayo and mustard can go in last, but I want to taste how the flavors are before I fatten it all up. I'm glad we made this tuna salad together. I've been thinking about tuna salad for a long time now. Been staring at these cans in my pantry. Been wondering what to do with these pickles. And now everything has come together. Cool, you're gonna order Burlap and Barrel. That's awesome. I have the affiliate link in all of the lives description boxes. If you order through that link, I think I get like a 10% kickback, but most importantly, what they can do is track who ordered through my referral link so that they know where the orders are coming from. They'll probably also ask you at checkout how you heard of them. And I've actually had a few viewers write in that box, heard of you through June. And what they do when the team sees that is they'll send you like a cute little welcome message. I think they send a welcome message to everyone, but when they know that like somebody who's on the team or somebody that they know sent people their way, they get a little bit of a more special welcome, I guess. So anyway, here's our Duke's mustard that is in a video that has not gone live yet because I'm procrastinating. And I will give you a little taste test right now because I just squeezed it all over the bottle and now it's disgusting. Reminds me of barbecue sauce. Mustardy, Dijon-y, spicy brown barbecue sauce. A little bit tart. Oh, what am I doing? I didn't even taste the salad yet. My God, my brain is freaking fried. Okay. All right. That's pretty darn tasty. Grandma's been giving me a hard-boiled egg every day. I can't tell if she doesn't want to eat it anymore or if she's being really nice to me. Maybe both. I don't know.
Anyway, symbiosis. I've been eating more eggs in my diet. I don't know if that's good or bad. I already have high cholesterol, but I heard that eggs don't actually contribute to cholesterol anymore as much as processed carbs and hydrogenated fats. The case in point here is health and nutrition sciences constantly go through fads, trust no one, and you should probably just eat whatever makes you happy in a balanced way and hope for the best. And if not, try again in the next lifetime. They're bell pepper. They're red bell pepper. Okay, now we taste the big bite. Ready? Is this bite big enough? They keep falling. Regather the big bite. Okay. Wow. That's pretty dang good. So surprising. Fantastic. A little bit spicy that you don't taste until it reaches towards the end of your tongue passageway, travels a little bit down your throat, a very light, warming, tingly sensation upon the tongue. At first hit, you get a little bit of sweet curve on the mayo and mustard together with the tuna. Red bell pepper and pickles kind of melt into each other in terms of a crunchy texture. The flavors are not distinctive enough on its own. The scallions really pick up on the chilies and give them a fresh twist. All in all, a very good mix. It's quite colorful. I anticipate this lasting perhaps 3.5 days. I'm going to chill it so that it has time to develop the flavors even more. I look forward to eating it with a lot of my broccoli. And I think that's all I have for y'all. I'm gonna finish eating this chocolate. I've never tried bulldog noodles. I've seen them at H Mart. It looks like they have very, very many flavors. And I was very, very overwhelmed by the amount of flavors that were present. I'm going to just eat the prune. It's a very hard prune. You can see I'm smushing it really hard, and it's not mushing like American prunes. It has like a very condensed feel to it. I want you to see the peas, but the natural release hasn't dropped yet. Right here. Bulldog Noodles is a brand of instant Korean, I believe Korean noodles, like instant ramen. A red and black one, huh? Okay. Noted. Tell you what, I have 40% of battery left. I'm gonna drag my chair over and I'll just sit for a little bit and see if this depressurizes. And I'll take a chill pill. With some water. Did we all eat our vitamins today? Take a vitamin C and a vitamin D, and that's about it. Sure, if you have gummies, go for it, girlfriend. It's hot. Lovely. Lovely little fan. Thank you for logging vitamins. Very good, I'm proud of you. Keep taking care of yourself, drink water, go to sleep. What's up, Instant Pot? You ready to go down in pressure yet? I've not heard of a Japanese ramen that has a Michelin star, like a dry packed instant ramen that has a Michelin star. That seems like Michelin Guide is trying too hard to be what it's not. My plans for the weekend are currently therapy. That's it. Tomorrow I have therapy. I was going to possibly do a video interview with someone for farm school, but I think we're gonna push it a little bit. I think it's a weird time. But we'll see. That makes more sense. The restaurant that has the Michelin star ramen makes an instant version. Got it. I've actually had to take the 50,000 IU vitamin D before for maybe a week or two. I'm not sure if that shit's good for you because vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. It just seems really intense. I'm not sure if 12 weeks seem very long, but I hope you're okay now. But that's it, guys. Besides watching the Instant Pot depressurize, which probably might not happen in the time frame that I want it to. Speak of the devil. You understand English. Did you hear that click? It went down. You get your wish. Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, very mushy peas. I might have a hard time draining that out actually. Whoops. We went a little overboard.
Smells a little medicinal, that's for sure. Okay. Probably a mixture of the peas and the sweet potatoes, like you said. Thank you, Kathy. Good luck, everyone, with your respective lives. Okay. Well, now that it's this mushy, I don't actually know if it's a good idea to immerse it in that much vinegar. I feel like it's going to give me a lot of ulcer issues. So let me rethink our game plan. Maybe just use a little bit as dressing. Okay. It smells very interesting, that's for sure. Smells almost like grape juice. That's weird. We've made soup, guys. We've made pea soup. Vinegary pea soup. Let me actually taste a little bit of this to see what atrocity I've committed. I want to know what sins I've looped myself into now. It smells like cucumbers being cooked right now. Fascinating. Truly, truly fascinating. That's very weird. It's like pickly, but not pickly. Definitely needs more salt. But you guys should really do a better job of stopping me sometimes. You know? I don't know why you let me get away with this much shit. And you keep egging me on too. Feeding my ego. It's not healthy for any of us, really. The amount of enabling that you're committing over time is supremely detrimental. I don't know if you realize your accomplice character in this channel is accelerating us towards a certain doom that we will all be responsible for. know that you are not innocent. Know that you have responsibility in this. Yes, microplastic. I know. You don't have to tell me that. I recognize. And so what we can do is make it more weird by throwing even more spices into it so that we fully commit to the act of making something borderline inedible to fully... I think we need to make a new word, honestly, for what I'm doing right now. Just... why stop at the first level of hell when you can descend to the bottom? Straight into the trenches. Straight down to where no one may reach you ever again. I will say it does look more interesting now. Certainly more speckled, more decorated, a little bit more personalitied, a little bit owning what it is, which is almost hilarious in that cartoonish vomit way. Yes? Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just commit. We have committed. We've committed. You want to enable me, you've done it. Smells a little bit like what I would imagine a hot street in like Calcutta. Walking in from that street into like an air-conditioned restaurant. That's what this smell reminds me of. I've never been to Calcutta. You know, I can live with it. But what I think would make it way better is this pistachio Duca breadcrumb mixture. That I made on a previous live. I think this will really just enhance the slurp. And after we have witnessed all of this, I do wish you a very calm, despite hot weekend. Cheers to health, to experimentation, to working with ourselves, on ourselves, to forgive ourselves, and to hopefully understand ourselves a little bit better so that we can find respite in this body. It's interesting.